Today we remember Gary "Money" Mounfield, a musician whose bass lines helped shape the sound of modern British music. Known for his work with the Stone Roses and Primal Scream, Manny's story is inseparable from the streets of Greater Manchester. From working-class roots to global influence, his journey reflects how place, culture, and community can forge a truly original musical voice. This video explores how Stockport and Manchester shaped Manny's life, sound, and lasting legacy. How did Manny's early life influence his worldview and musical identity? Gary "Money" Mounfield grew up in a working-class environment in Greater Manchester, surrounded by everyday realities that valued honesty, resilience, and community. This background grounded him emotionally and culturally, giving him a strong sense of identity. Rather than distancing himself from his roots, Money carried them into his music, allowing his playing to feel authentic, human, and deeply connected to real-life experiences. What role did Stockport play in shaping Manny's early musical curiosity? Stockport offered a quieter but vital foundation for Manny's musical development. The town's pubs, youth spaces, and local streets exposed him to music as something lived rather than performed. Sounds drifted from record players, radios, and live bands, sparking curiosity rather than ambition at first. This environment encouraged listening, absorbing rhythm, and feeling music before ever thinking about fame or success. Which musical styles surrounded Money during his formative years? Money grew up immersed in a rich mix of northern soul, funk, reggae, punk, and early post-punk. These genres were part of everyday life in Greater Manchester, played in clubs, homes, and social spaces. Each style contributed something essential to his musical DNA, from groove and rhythm to attitude and rebellion, laying the groundwork for his later bass style. Why was Manchester such a powerful attraction for a young musician like Money? Manchester offered opportunity, energy, and connection. It was a city alive with creativity, where new sounds were being tested nightly in clubs and venues. For Money, Manchester represented a place where music mattered, where scenes formed quickly, and where ambition felt possible. The city's cultural momentum pulled him in and gave him space to grow. How did Manchester's music venues shape Manny's artistic development? Venues across Manchester exposed Money to a collision of styles, from post-punk intensity to dance-driven club culture. Spaces like independent clubs and live venues allowed musicians to experiment freely. Watching bands, meeting peers, and feeling the crowd's response helped Money understand how rhythm could move people both physically and emotionally. What were Manny's first steps into the Manchester music scene? Money began playing in early bands with musicians who would later become central figures in the city's music history. These early collaborations were informal but crucial, allowing him to develop confidence and refine his technique. Manchester's tight-knit scene meant musicians learned quickly from one another, pushing each other creatively through shared experience rather than formal training. How did Manchester's diverse sound influence Manny's bass playing? Manchester was a melting pot where rock, funk, electronic music, and rave culture intersected. Money absorbed all of it. His bass lines became rhythmic rather than purely supportive, melodic without overpowering, and deeply rooted in groove. This balance reflected the city itself, raw and experimental yet accessible. Why did Manny's bass style stand out within the Stone Roses? Money brought movement and groove to the Stone Roses, turning the bass into a driving force rather than a background element. His playing connected rock guitars with dance rhythms, giving the band a sound that felt both rebellious and hypnotic. This approach became central to the Madchester movement and influenced countless bands that followed. How did Manny's journey continue with Primal Scream? With Primal Scream, Money expanded his musical range even further. The band's experimental approach allowed him to explore darker, heavier, and more electronic sounds. His bass lines remained powerful and distinctive, proving his ability to adapt while staying true to his rhythmic identity. How did Manny's roots remain present throughout his career? Despite global success, Money never abandoned his northern identity. His attitude, playing style, and personal values reflected the places he came from. Stockport and Manchester were not chapters he moved beyond, but foundations he carried forward into every performance and recording. Why does Manny's legacy still matter today? Mani showed that bass could lead, groove could define a band, and local culture could shape global music. His influence can be heard in modern indie, dance rock, and alternative scenes. More importantly, his story inspires musicians to stay connected to who they are and where they come from. Finally, Gary Mani Mounfield's journey from Stockport streets to Manchester stages and worldwide recognition is a story of place, rhythm, and authenticity. His bass lines continue to echo through British music, reminding us that true innovation often begins at home. If you found this tribute meaningful, please share this video, like it, and subscribe to the channel to support more educational stories about music, culture, and legacy.